Good. I mean, you heard
Fantastic.
2 minutes ago that you were doing a podcast with us, so that's cool. And
I
hey,
knew
Patrick,
I just needed a reminder. I ran into dealing with something last minute and I was like, why is he asking if I'm home? Oh, I'm home because it's time. 2 minutes. I'm there.
Patrick, Joel actually still looks better than Jason Sudeikis when he accepted an award.
He is wearing tie-dye. You got the tie-dye down.
It is kind of
I
tie-dye.
look. Hey, are you guys proud of me? It's not just a black t-shirt.
I like it.
It's a tie-dye.
I wish I had the tie-dye memo. I would have wore tie-dye.
Yeah.
Because I have a few to choose.
Patrick is doing the black shirt, so
Yeah.
Well,
It's a bummer.
whatever.
Yeah. Can you imagine people's reactions if he would have been in a beanie and a tie-dye shirt on this podcast? They'd be like, okay, guys.
I mean, if you give me 30 seconds, I can make it.
I mean,
that's not
the odds are that definitely, that the odds are high that definitely
I don't even need to move to get the beanie. I just got to get up. Do you know what he's talking about?
One of these.
Yeah. Just go from one side to the other. Do you know what he's talking about? That video of Jason Sudeikis?
Oh,
he won. We played it on, I think maybe not the last episode, but the one before it. But we were talking about Ted Lasso, but he won an award for Ted Lasso. I think it was like the Golden Globes or something. Yeah. And he looked like he just rolled out of bed. Like he just found out, like, oh, I was nominated for an award. And he had on this like tie-dye hoodie. His hair was fucked up. He looked stoned. Like, I was like, well, if there's any way to do it in the like during the pandemic, you're on Zoom, be stoned, be in bed in your underwear, and just say fuck it. Like,
but it was all through Zoom, and there was like Eugene Levy and Don Cheadle and another guy or two that was on there. It was like 2 years
2020.
Okay.
I mean, it was like part of the pandemic.
Has to be expected.
But they're like on Zoom and they're still like dressed to the nines, and he's in a tie-dye hoodie.
Oh,
red eyes, stoned out of his mind. He can't hardly talk. He can't figure out words at all.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was saying either. Like finally, they're like, okay, wrap it up, guy. Wrap it up.
So here's the question: do we miss that though? I mean, come on.
No,
it's the wrong thing to say.
Not at all.
But come on. Do we miss that?
I mean,
maybe because I was that guy the whole time.
Colt and I are still keeping it alive. We're at episode 130 and we've never done a podcast in person. So we're keeping it alive, man.
There you go.
We're living through this thing.
There you go.
Sadly,
I was just kind of reminiscing on the fact of, it's funny to think that, I don't know, kind of missed having absolutely nothing to do all day and, be a complete bum and show up on a Zoom and, kind of don't have to give a shit. You're showing up on Zoom,
Yeah.
That part I do. You retired for a year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That time that you retired for a year?
Yeah. I retired, took some time off, it wasn't bad. I never said that. I never said that part of it was bad.
I never bitched once during quarantine or anything like that. I thought it was cool. I was like, spend time at home with the lady and my kid. It's like, I was spoiled though, because I had a pandemic baby. So I got to literally spend every moment of his infant years with him, as opposed to going off to work every day or whatever. Like,
I think you and I actually talked about that was a big thing with me, was being able to reconnect with Aiden and hang out with him. He was a baby. I didn't get to spend that much time with him ever. Yeah. There was never a point. I was, always working or doing whatever, always gone every weekend, tied up. And like that was a weird thing to go, wow, this is the first time we've ever spent that much time together. And it was awesome. So,
and now he's gone.
He gone. Yeah. And now it's been 2020.
No, those were strange times, but at the same time, like, maybe it was good for some people. I know for some people it was terrible.
Yeah.
But
all the bad was bad.
Right. There was, and there was good to come from it. I agree. Yeah. You gotta look on the brighter side of things, especially during nonsense like that. And then I think this is maybe this is a weird transition, but I think musically speaking, for a lot of people, it was a great time because it kind of pushed them to create and keep creating and keep putting stuff out there and give people something to do and something to listen to and something to watch. And like, man, we were talking about before you jumped on I pulled up this article. I saw someone, you're a Finn McKenty. You listen to the Punk Rock MBA.
Yeah.
He posted about it. That's how I found out about it. But so a stat here, only one rock artist who began releasing music this century has records among America's 200 biggest albums of 2022. It's Machine Gun Kelly. And to think about that, one rock artist with a best-selling record, it's like, man, rock hasn't gone anywhere. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be one of those people like rock is dead, but like, rock used to rule the mainstream. But I always lean on the fact like, dude, he was one of those guys that during the pandemic was just on it, dude. Every day, new video, new song, new, whatever. And I have to say that probably helped a little bit.
Yeah.
For those people that kind of let the pandemic shut them down a little bit, what are they doing now?
Yeah. I mean,
but is there another genre that took over?
Like post-pandemic? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it's well, maybe. I mean, it's for me, it's the usual, but I don't know.
I think the rock scene is seeing a resurgence right now just because everything's on that 10 and 20 year cycle. So, we're right at that point where, a lot of big influential rock genres, the emo scene, the new metal scene, even alternative rock. There's a lot of really good, just straight, even radio rock right now. And signs of the time with the touring and that, following the shutdown. Now everybody's out touring and taking advantage of that. And this upcoming year looks like possibly even more, like, calendars are full. So yeah, I don't know if it was it's just, I feel like there's a lot more at the forefront, at least for rock, because for a while there, it was like, what happened?
Yeah.
I always listen to rock, like where to go.
What do you think? What do you think TikTok has to do with that?
I don't know. Probably not the best one.
Are you on TikTok? Is Inimical on TikTok?
Inimical is on TikTok because
do you post specifically for TikTok? Or you just kind of do your thing and then it ends up
not
there?
Yet. We will. That's kind of the plan, is to make that a separate thing from the rest of it.
Okay.
But we've adapted some of that with our recent updates to where it's just kind of like it carries over to the other socials where some of those concepts and ideas, the bus build is what I'm referring.
Yeah. Sure.
You know what I mean? Where like that kind of stuff is what I see when I'm scrolling TikTok. All the other band stuff is just the same as like reels and live clips from touring and things like that.
Right.
But I'd let some of that kind of roll over. But the intention absolutely is to separate that one from the others and treat it more of, like an inside look type thing rather than just posting the same content across all the platforms.
Right. The reason I ask is because I myself have discovered quite a few artists on TikTok or because of TikTok. And the only reason I'm on TikTok is because of the show. And well, that's how it started. Anyway.
You have no idea how much bitching Patrick has done.
In the beginning.
I know some. I've heard plenty.
In the beginning. But now I'm fully in. But so and I do think it's a valuable way to discover new music in 2022. Going on 2023, but Maynard from Tool was basically saying that the older artists who get on TikTok and try to create some sort of fame on TikTok are reeking of desperation. And I'm like, well, coming from him, that's not a surprise for him to say that. And I think we talked about this on a previous episode. I don't think it's a surprise for him to say that, but I don't think it reeks desperation. I think if anything, you're giving into the new way to find new fans and keep people updated as to what you're capable of.
Yeah. I always said, like, with the YouTube thing, we're old, so I can talk like this, when YouTube was the thing, even with, when Facebook first came around, we had MySpace before Facebook and all of that. Every time something new came out, it was like, well, you have a channel now, like if you told a kid at my age, when I was a kid, that you would have your own channel, whatever content you want to put on, whatever you want to do, you got a channel. And then this now now you got all these channels, right? But the way I looked at like the different usage of platforms is kind of like adding, for some people, it's adding a comedy channel to the aspect of their brand. For other people's, it's like adding a live aspect, or that, and that's what I've seen. And so, yes, to your question, is that I think that should probably be used differently. I'm just not good at it. I don't know. We'll get it there, but but we're gonna have a lot more to talk about and to kind of treat in a different way too, the more active we get with the record coming out and everything. So I got some thoughts on that. And that was kind of with the transformation videos of the bus. That was the thought was, well, let's start that and it'll carry across other platforms, but kind of start treating that as something a little bit different,
Yeah, when I saw those, I thought they would be good for TikTok, honestly.
Yeah. And that's create them on TikTok and then throw them to everything else.
I honestly don't know if anyone knows how the algorithm works. It's bizarre because I'll post clips from this show that I think, based on things I've seen, okay, that's going to get a solid amount of views.
Yeah.
Dead silent. But then I'll post something that makes no sense. There's really no point to even the clip, but it'll get, 4,000 views. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then we know someone who does really well on TikTok, and Colt reached out to that person and was like, hey, do you understand it? And he's like, no, I have no fucking clue. And this is a guy who gets 100,000 views, 100,000 likes. Like, what can you do?
Yeah, that's the, it all comes back to just keep doing stuff, line up as much
exactly
as you can. Because back to the channel, if there's 15 channels on your TV and you're the kid sitting there flipping through the channels, and 3 of them have the little compass and the Indian. What is it? Is it compass and an Indian and isn't there an Indian on there?
I don't know. I believe you mean Indigenous American, by the way.
That's correct.
Yeah.
We're very PC here.
Was there? Well, anyway,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? If 3 of those channels happen to have the Indigenous American in the corner, you're going to pass and go to the next channel. Now there's just billions of channels and billions of everything to go through. So we found that randomly. I was posting live clips just from unedited clips that we had from footage from our shows. And one spiked one morning, and I'm getting notifications like crazy. And I'm like, what happened here? I thought, I was like, it kind of freaked me out. I was like, what happened? And it just shot up out of nowhere. And it's no different from anything else. No different tagging, no clever anything. It just throwing it out at that time for whatever caught on. We had one TikTok thing when we were releasing Dead on Me that I was like, oh my God, here we go. And it was good. It was the best. I think it was like the highest thing we've ever had posted, definitely on our TikTok. But it was like, oh, holy shit. Why does that happen? Hasn't happened since. Not even close. Not even close. So how does that happen?
Right.
I don't know.
Dude, I think the video that we have that has the most views is about Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seriously is.
Is there tagging and a title, hashtags, all that?
I don't know. Patrick did it. Do you remember Patrick?
The Mighty Ducks video?
Yeah. That's still the one that has the most views, right?
Yeah. No. The Don Vito clip has the most views now.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
But the Mighty Ducks one was like, it was like a viral moment though. Like we were like, Jesus, are we like TikTok stars now? Like that's how fast it happened.
Neither one of us has really used TikTok, and all of a sudden now I'm checking it every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Trying to see.
Right. Yeah. That's how that was. I felt the same way, and it was like right away. I'm like, oh my God. Zach's even texted me. He's like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know. It's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird how it works, man.
Guess what? We're still not millionaires. It didn't work.
Well, one thing at a time,
Yeah. Viral for us.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mighty Ducks one was one. Well, the way that it started though is it started on the CEP page, and then I posted it. But on the CEP page, it's got like 40,000 views, right? Like something
I don't
way
remember.
more than we could ever imagine for anything we've ever posted.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of those weird moments. And I've had several people tell me about that too, like where they've experienced that, where, you know, they'll post something, it'll be like just this surge of views and surge of likes, and then it'll just go dead silent. And then a week later, it'll happen again. They haven't changed anything. They haven't done anything. So they try to recreate that same thing using the same hashtags. It doesn't work that way.
Not even that.
So it, you know, I mean, on my Instagram, and then I'll post a video of my son, and I have one that's got like 16,000 views and like 4,000 likes. And I'm like, are 12,000 of these people pedophiles that are just watching my son slide down a slide? Like, I'm kind of like, it's kind of gross how popular it is. Like, maybe I don't want to, because on my Instagram, really my Instagram is just videos of this and then videos of my son. I don't post pictures of myself really. Like, that's all it is. I'm like,
those are the ones that win. Those are the ones that win. God forbid. I changed my profile picture.
God, so weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard
really
to explain.
showing our age still here.
Well, I mean, as far as TikTok
probably.
and music goes, I always go back to that the combo with Jacoby Shaddix and what's that kid's name?
Jarris Johnson.
Jarris Johnson. Have you seen any other musicians do that, or any other lead singers of bands do that with anyone else? Because I still think that was a pretty genius idea. Because I mean, you know, you're taking
on Jacoby's part or Jarris's part.
Both. Well, both.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more along the line of Jacoby's part.
I don't know. I mean,
because it's kind of like the older generation getting into the newer generation of TikTok, you know, where everyone's at, with a younger kid who everybody's watching right now.
The collab is the way.
Yeah.
Really is.
Well, but that goes into what, like, the defense to what Maynard was saying about this. It's like, well, if you're Jacoby, you have a kid who adores one of your songs. Why wouldn't you? If he's already got a platform that people love his music on, why wouldn't you collaborate with him? Especially if it's, or, you know, your song. It's one thing if Jacoby goes on and is like, hey, I want to do your song with you. No, this kid reached out to you and he wants to do Last Resort. Go do it, man. Like, I mean, what is it hurting? I guess is the main question. Like, well, who is it hurting? You know, I guess some of his fans will go, you're selling out or whatever, but like, okay, whatever. I mean, they've already sold out plenty of places. That's why they're in the position to keep playing every festival. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're worried about that anymore, guys. Like, I don't care. I don't think you're hurting their feelings. Like, I love to be in that position. Like, call me a sellout. That's cool. I have sold out. I think Jason Newsted from Metallica, when he was in Metallica, was the one that said that. Like, when they released the Black Album, everybody called them sellouts, and he's like, "Yeah, we do sell out every venue, every night." So,
as a matter of fact, well, that is accurate. So
you're actually right. We are sellouts.
How about that new Metallica? It's a ripper. I love it.
I like it. Colt, apparently, I learned last show, is not a Metallica fan and didn't like it, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, what are you doing?"
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it sounds like Metallica. Like, I listened to 5 seconds and I'm like,
you're not
okay,
a Metallica fan. Yeah, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Good, man. I think it rips.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah,
but I think they have plenty of songs that if you're not a Metallica fan, you could potentially like. You know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff, Black Album and then post Black Album, you know, I think they gained a new audience with that. But yeah, this song is kind of old school. Like you said, it rips. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
I have not bought it yet.
I stream my music, Colt.
How dare him? I buy my music and I have not bought it. He just called me out.
I stream my music, so I ain't mad about it. I buy things. I buy other things. I stream my music. I'm not scared.
What is your favorite streaming service?
Spotify. There is no other streaming service. Come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there is, but that's fine.
What are you
They just
talking
don't do. They just don't yearly wraps.
Okay, that. You're not getting my yearly wrap, mainly because
Oh, come on.
no one would ever take me serious again. Top 3, Taylor Swift, and then there's probably I don't know. It wasn't top 3. She's in there though. She's in the top 5 for sure. I really, honestly, the most annoying thing is how long it took to get through the fucking thing. Like it's got this graphic in it. Do you not have Spotify? You don't use Spotify?
No. I have an artist page, but I don't.
Do you, Colt?
Only because we have the show on it.
So
We
you
are- we-
okay.
we are-
So you're
we
not
are-
looking at no.
Oh wait, I lied. I do have a Spotify, but I've never listened to one song.
Okay, so you don't have the yearly wrapped thing, right?
I
You know what
might.
mean?
I
We
don't
are a
know.
very anti-Spotify
Yeah, this is an
show that is
anti-Spotify
on
establishment
Spotify.
here. So-
Yeah. Well, I'm anti a lot of things, but Spotify enables me to do some cool shit and find cool shit and with ease. I like things with ease anymore. You know, I'm an Apple guy, but I'm a Spotify guy.
Okay.
Let me
Everything
ask you
on
this.
Apple, everything on Apple, Spotify for the music.
So do you like Spotify Premium? Do you pay
Yeah.
extra? You do.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So with and this is, God, I sound so dumb when I do this, but like, so with the premium, you can actually play what you want to play. Like if you're not a Spotify Premium user, you can't just search a song.
Yeah, it's like Netflix with commercials. Who the fuck wants to watch commercials? You know, you got to pay for Netflix with no commercials. Hulu,
But
with
on
no
but on
commercials.
Netflix, you can still search.
Yeah, you can search and watch what you want, but you're gonna get
Yeah.
interrupted every.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's what you're worried about. I got you.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
it's not. They don't throw commercials in there. But yeah, no, I search. And
So
listen
you
to
have the
whatever I want.
ability to create, like with premium, you have the ability to like right now you go, I want to search the new Metallica. You can go on Spotify and do it and it will
Oh,
play
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I think the discovery aspect of Spotify, and I only used Apple. I did use Apple for a while, but nothing in comparison now to when I've been on Spotify. But I feel like the suggestive, which is really when I'm going to stream music anyway, I'm looking to find music primarily. I listen to a lot of the same stuff, but I listen to a lot of current stuff more than throwback stuff. I have to have like a moment and go, oh, damn, I want to listen to that. And then go to,
Yeah.
otherwise I'm on like new playlists and, you know, it literally throws me suggestions and I find all kinds of good music. So,
Yeah. No, I
pretty
think for the
accurate.
discovery aspect, you're right. You know, like I said, my personal one, I don't use it, but I do have an artist page, which, you know, some people have added some songs to playlists. So I've just, out of curiosity, like, well, what playlist did I get added to? And that's a good way of like discovering other shit that A, might sound like you, or B, you have some weird eclectic person who like, I liked your song, but then I liked weird deathcore. And I'm like, I don't know how this worked, but all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. Like, thanks.
Yeah.
So that part of it I get. Yeah, I don't know.
Apple's
Oh.
better than Spotify. You guys are anti-Spotify. Why? What
I don't-
does
I
Apple
don't-
do right? Oh, you
I
don't
swear to
stream.
God, when I say this, I'm not trying to be cool.
You don't stream.
I don't stream music. I'll watch music videos. So I'll use YouTube Music to watch videos.
Yeah.
Like if I'm on a treadmill or
Yeah.
if I'm on my TV, you know, but yeah, I really don't. It's weird. I know people call me weird for it, but yeah, I just don't.
Isn't that weird?
I-
I mean,
The anti-Spotify thing is really because of musicians. I mean that.
yeah, I mean that has a lot to do with
the,
it.
the
but-
money aspect is the biggest thing. But I use Apple Music for all my music.
yeah.
And
I
see,
mean,
I've never even tried that, so I don't even know how that works.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm an interface functionality. I like things when it's got a slick interface. That's why I choose iPhone over, you know, you get used to an interface that you like. Spotify's slick. It just works right. It does the right things for me. I don't know. It does the right things. I don't know. You know,
I
it
love it.
looks better.
I
looks
love it.
better,
No, dude.
functional, it's slick. You know, except okay. So to my point, why I really asked, everybody posts their, oh, my Spotify Wrapped and this and that. Nobody's talking about the stress that came from watching this fucking thing. It was an animated, like every screen is like 4 to 8 seconds before it would get to the point of what it was about to tell you. And then there's like 20. Okay, best example is Facebook, when they do like it's your friend's anniversary. You guys spent blah, blah, blah. And then balloons go off and it's like, and together you guys saw da, 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 da. You ever seen one of those? Come on.
Yeah,
man.
I have.
Come on.
I just got back on Facebook. I haven't had the opportunity yet. In like a couple months, I think that'll happen.
Apparently, I should just get off of all of it too, because I'm so annoyed by this. But it was like, okay.
Sounds annoying.
I'm like, where's the screen? It is. I'm like, okay, where's the screen that tells me how much I listen to with my Donald Trump hands? Where's the screen? Just get to the screen that everybody posts. It took like 5 minutes of me tapping and being like, okay, I don't care about that. Oh, and in X amount of countries, you did blah, 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 blah. And come on, man. Just show me
Did you post yours?
I want the one screenshot that everybody posts. That's all I want. I want to click on it and go, here it is.
Yeah.
You don't need all your little things and balloons, sundials. I don't know what was going on. It was a lot.
So did you end up posting that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. I honestly cannot tell you what mine was, but okay. I'm a weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I also don't stream. I really don't listen to music. Is like the minority of my time, unless I have time like during the day where I'm. But even when I'm driving, there's a lot of podcasts, audiobooks, and phone calls. So then it's typically I go for a run or I'm working out and then I get to listen to music. So then I'm like, okay, cool. Want to throw something on, and that's my discovery time typically. But
so wait, so the rap thing is like telling people what you listen to the most.
Yeah.
What's the other thing where it shows you like what your like for your band, like what your download numbers were and all that?
It's the same thing. It's just what people listen to of yours.
In my explanation, I blended the two of those for sure.
Oh,
like
okay.
I was going to ask that too. Yeah.
Yeah. The Spotify artist thing. Well, there you go. You can do that with your Rocky profile. You can go and watch.
Oh, I know I can.
See all the little.
Oh, I know what it is. They email me once every 5 minutes. I don't care. I want to respond to Spotify like, hey, Spotify, I don't care. I'm not going to post it. No, I mean, my numbers wouldn't impress anyone. Let's just say that. So there's no reason to post it.
No numbers are impressing anyone. I get it with the Spotify thing. Do the math, add it up. Oh, it's a pathetic paycheck for these massive numbers that are supposed to get everybody excited about. Don't get me wrong. I am the most grateful. I am blown away and humbled as to how busy I actually am at this point with music. It's amazing. No one, you guys know me personally, it is not wasted on me. I am forever grateful. However, that's what I hate about Spotify. That's what I hate about the whole thing. It's like you're supposed to be excited about. I am excited about that. And you get to see, I like data. I like to see how many countries and how many, I'd love to be there and personally know that people are listening to our music there. It's amazing. However, any of that shit, I can't do it. I start to see it. There's also the, and now I'm calling you guys out. Don't you do it. Don't you be posting no AI cartoon fucking, I'm waiting. Well, who's going to be the first to do it? One of you guys is.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I'm wrapping this into the same thing. As soon as I start to see these, it's a trend. It's the trend.
I need to catch my breath, man. I don't even know what's happening right now. I need a minute, dude.
I'm rambling too. I'm like, now you got me all fired up.
There's smoke coming out of Patrick's ears. He has no
What are we talking about? AI. So AI cartoon. What are you talking about?
That you haven't seen that? It's literally everybody's Facebook right now. And Instagram.
You can share your screen if you want to pull one up.
I don't.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're asking me how to do that? Colt.
Oh
Colt
shit.
can do it.
Colt, do it.
Colt can pull it up.
How
Anybody. There's got to be it's a new app or something that it's like an AI drawing. It's basically that cartoon.
Oh wait. Okay, wait. So yeah.
It
No,
does it's supposed to make like an AI image of you, like in all these different avatar settings.
see, but the person I saw someone post about this, and they posted an actual artist that does it. So it's not the same thing.
I mean,
So this is like an app. You're not saying there's a.
it's got to be an app. Literally, I opened my phone for 30 seconds and was like, oh boy.
I have never felt my age more than I do
everyone
right
all
now.
of a sudden can't wait to be a friggin' AI cartoon.
there's so many people.
Is this
that-
strictly a Facebook thing or what?
Both.
Both
It's a thing.
Instagram and
It's a thing.
Facebook?
Google. You got the Googles.
I got the Googs. You don't know what it's called?
I don't. Something AI trend.
So I'm gonna Google new AI cartoon trend. What is the AI trend? The Lensa app. Is that what it's called?
Sure. I don't know. I didn't do it. Much like my Spotify Wrapped. I got so much information from everybody else's, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you got information from everybody else's. Let me tell you. Let's see here. Okay. What is the AI trend on Instagram? The Lensa app face generator is magic.
Oh, it's magic.
So this is the new thing. This right here. See this lady here?
That lady. I don't know.
Is that
her,
what we're talking?
She's very
Can you
pretty.
see her?
She's attractive.
Yeah, we can see her.
Okay. Download the Lens app. Take a picture. Pay money. Yeah, I did.
How much money was that?
$29.99 a year.
A year. Okay. 1 week.
This will be
trial.
gone in a year.
1 week trial.
Dude,
Who
a year.
needs-
It'll be gone. It'll be gone when this 1 week trial's
It's
over.
gonna be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gone already.
It's gonna be
I
gone
think.
tomorrow. Why would you continue?
Wait,
to
oh,
do-
bad. I was like, why does it say nudes? But it's talking about bad photo
You
examples.
know, that's funny. So that's like bad news for them. As a business, who knew being a trend would be a bad thing, right? That's got to be a bad thing. It's done for them. Unless
They
that
also don't want you to take pictures with your dog, which I think is just so rude. What if I want my dog to be AI? How dare you?
dare
So this is a thing. People like this. This is cool.
Mhm.
This is not new, by the way. There's so many apps that have done this before. But these
Well,
do look pretty. These do look pretty good.
These actually look like shit compared to what
Oh,
I've seen everybody
Jesus
post.
Christ! I told you to share your screen. Would you figure out Zoom
I
already?
don't know how to do it.
I feel dumb now. I
I
don't know
don't
what
know
I'm
how to
looking
do
at.
it.
It took 20 minutes
Not
for us to hear Joel on Zoom. You want him to share something?
You want me to do what?
How did we get into that? I don't even know.
Now you're not going to be able to unsee. You're going to get online tomorrow and you're like, oh man, everybody's a cartoon. Yeah. I don't feel like I thought that was a new thing, but it took off. And now it's going to tank that company because it's going to be gone next week. And can that innovate? Is there a way to keep that? I mean, I guess it gets better, but you're not going to like blow up and go viral just because it got better, right? Nobody's going to care.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe they do like live videos that turn you into.
Well, make your own
Which
movie.
again, that technology exists. You just got to work harder. It's
Yeah.
not as simple as putting it into an app and being done with it. You know,
I
which
had
it
no
seems like
idea
that's
so
what it
many of
was,
my
but-
friends were astronauts. That's all I'm saying. And ninja warriors and fairy princesses, but they are. Who knew? I didn't know that's about my friends.
on social media, they are whatever they want to be.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
man,
What do you think we
I
ought
don't
to
know.
give
I
him?
don't know how we got to that. You went on a rant, and my brain went stop for a minute.
I don't know. What was it? Oh, that's why I didn't post that. I view all that stuff the same. I can't. I'm not cool enough for trends. I can't do it. I'll get made fun of. I'll post it and it would be like, well, this was an awesome trend, and then this guy did it, and now it's not cool anymore. That's how I feel.
Yeah. The Spotify rap ones are very interesting to me, only in the sense that like there are so many people who are still fans of music, but they are also artists. And they see these things come out and they see bands posting, they see artists posting their Spotify rap. And then they get their whole like, well, what did you listen to? And I find it interesting how conflicting it is for some people to, explore the fan side of it, but also the artist side of it. I saw one person, and they'll remain nameless. It doesn't matter who they are, but they're in a band and they made up their own thing where it was like, and they essentially what looked like would have been a Spotify rap. They talked about how much Spotify pays artists, how much their executives make. I don't know if you've seen this. You might follow the person,
I did.
but man, I really loved it. And I didn't comment, or I didn't, I just liked it and moved on with my day. But the amount of shit that this person got, and it was from other artists, and some of the other people, some of the people who are artists commenting on the post didn't understand what was happening, because they didn't know how to separate fan from artist, right? Because I posted both. Like I'm a fan, but I'm an artist. And like,
right.
It was very interesting to see. And there were some people where I would just go, oh yeah, you don't get it. I don't think you understand what they were it doesn't matter, but it's very interesting for me to just kind of let people battle it out and just kind of watch from a distance. Like,
I don't know. Yeah.
Fine. Did you see anything like that where people are kind of anti Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah. And I'm not anti. I'm just not that cool. I'm not cool. I'm not cool enough for the trend. I'm not anti. I'm not anti any of it. I really just don't care. That's fine. That's cool.
I'm the same.
I don't need to see everybody's music choices. I don't care what you listen to. I like all kinds of shit, and many people would be surprised probably by mine. Maybe not, but I don't. It's cool. I'm not cool enough for the trends. I don't know. And by the time I figure it out, I would post it like a month from now, and everybody would be like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I just felt maybe no."
It's a bizarre trend, only because like the situation I just explained, where it's like if you use Spotify to listen to music, but also put music on there, separating, and this doesn't have to be specific to Spotify. It could be anything. It could be Apple Music, it could be YouTube, it could be TikTok, but like separating yourself, being a fan, but also being a user, but also being someone who puts their content on there. It's interesting. Like we do this podcast and we listen to other podcasts and we see the content they put out, and we have to kind of toe the line how we react to it, in a sense. We used to, in the very beginning, we would see people react to podcast clips of podcasts that we at one point in time perhaps listened to or watched, and we would go, God, why are they doing this? And then we found ourselves 10 episodes later doing it ourselves, like reacting to, and then we had to kind of we had to regroup and go, all right, wait, the very thing that we were confused about, now we're doing, should we keep doing this? And I think we've kind of since then kind of vacated the idea a little bit, but it's just as content creators, it's interesting to be able to separate,
So I heard an interesting take from a fellow musician that said, well, it was actually a conversation amongst a couple, but it started as having the frustration or the struggle with being able to see a show for just seeing a show, being a fan, but also being an artist, or being on that side of it, or maybe knowing too much, or maybe this and that. And I'm a fan. I still go to shows. Now, I haven't done it as a career, the only thing that I've done my whole life or anything like that. And I understand getting burnt on things or whatever, but I don't know, man. I'm a fan. I like what I like because I like it, and I guess that's why I'm a little less interested in needing all of that, because I think of myself musically. as far as my taste and what I'm into and everything else, pretty unimpressive. I just like what I like. I don't know why. Sometimes it's a song by an artist and I'll go, oh, I love them. But really, do I actually know the catalog? No, of course not. But I like that. And I don't know, sometimes I tell you why, or this or that, or maybe it was a timing thing, and then other times, full catalogs and, really into something or whatever. Not a lot of I ain't got a lot of hate on a lot of things. So I don't really need to rank anything, People ask about favorites. That seems to be like a go-to podcast thing. What are your favorite? Who's your favorite singer? Fucking what? I got no. What are you talking about? That's impossible for me to answer. I have no idea.
I mean, I could name mine, but it's only because of influence and time period in my life. But since then, there are the hundreds. You know what I mean?
Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a female pop vocal? Are we talking about because of this? I break it down so far because I know why I like it that it doesn't. Yeah, it's not those generalized things. So, anyways, I'm not rude on it. I'm a fan. I can just go and I don't know. I like it. I like to go and still see a show and go attend a concert and I don't know. It's just I feel a lot of that stuff, not necessarily as a vanity. I am also grateful. I like to know that people are in this fandom world of artists. I'm the same way. I do like to see that. I just don't need to see it. I like to know it. I just don't need to see it. I like to know that those people are out there that are like, this is my number one consistently all the time. And this is and it's not that with me. It's definitely all over the place. I guess if you were to had a way, maybe there's a way to look over the since I've been using Spotify, how that's changed. That would be rather interesting. Maybe we should find out if you can do that. Colt, can we do that?
You're the Spotify guy.
Can you do that?
I don't know.
Is that a thing? Wonder if you
can you do what? What do you want to know?
Go back and look at the history over the years. What if there was like a wrapped thing of comparison over the years? Spotify, there you go. There's a freebie for you.
Yeah, there you go.
That I'd be interested in. That data would be interesting to me to see what my tops were, 10 years ago or however long Spotify has been around versus now, Other than that, all that just seems like I said, it's not vanity, it's fandom. It's awesome. But some people treat it as the thing they need to post, and it makes me feel a certain way. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. I mean, yeah. We're on the same page. Trust me.
Yeah.
I don't know that I don't know that anyone cares what I listen to. But if you ask me what's your favorite,
that also all the time. I feel like that about social media. Everything with me is like, I don't think anybody actually cares. Why am I doing this? There's no way they can care about what I'm saying. No one wants to listen to me. And here you guys asked me to come on. Actually, I asked you to come on. See? That's it. No one wants to listen to me. I knew it. I asked, come on.
I think every day I get more and more like Patrick when it comes to Facebook. Like if I find myself scrolling through Facebook, I just talk. I'm like, what am I doing? Why?
The Walmart of social media.
Yeah, I don't care about anything that I've looked at for the past 5 minutes.
It's the Walmart of social media. You'll find you can find just about anything there. Yeah. It's very uninteresting. It's very bland and overused, and all the people on that you're like, it's where they hang out.
Yeah, right.
It's where the poor whites hang out, as Dave Chappelle would say.
3 Walmarts right by me. So I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I don't know. I get a lot of information from Facebook. I'm a dog on it. I'm never gonna leave it.
It's I left it for a long time and I just came back to it, and the only reason I did it so I could start an event page for something that really mattered to me. And since then I've been on it. I've stayed on it. Like any social media page I have, it's either this show, music, or my kid. No, but what I do value it for is, the reconnection with people. And then this is a very generic tale I'm telling here, but the reconnection with people that I have not seen or heard from in a long time. I've actually been able to do that on Facebook quite a bit since I've been back on it, which is kind of cool, man. I wish it wasn't Facebook that I was doing it on. Unfortunately, it is. But, I've been able to reconnect with some people that I've been through some shit with them, and then for whatever reason, lost connection. So that part of it I love. I just before we started was telling my wife, like, hey, remember that one guy I told you about from my childhood? Facebook must be listening to us, because here he is. He just came up in the people you may know part of Facebook. I've never seen him before since I've been on it, which is really cool. Now, did I stalk his page? No, but I've told her plenty about shit from my childhood with this guy. She's like, well, let me see what he looks like. I'm like, here he is. She's like, he looks like such a nice guy.
She'll stalk him
Like,
for you.
he is a nice guy. He is a nice guy. So it was one of those things, like, that is still, and it is weird. It's voyeuristic. It's weird to be able to just do that without reaching out to the other person, to be like, well, I know a little bit about you now. And I'm sure people have done it to me, but that's what I do value in it. But yeah, no, I'm not scrolling through and like, no, it's just hate and anger and just nonsense. It's just, it's
and
weird.
that's kind of my thing too, is like, you can create the environment that you want on Facebook based off of who you are friends with and all that kind of stuff. But I swear Facebook has just added random people to my pit that I'm friends with.
Yeah. Look, Facebook is a trash can of just everything. Do you really take the time to curate what you're, no, it's just the longer you're there, the more gets dumped in, and it kind of just never goes away.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever taken the time to clean up, truly clean, not the whole I'm deleting all my friends if you're still here thing. I mean, like, really, like, go in and curate and be like, yeah, I'm actually not really interested in this. Somebody just sent me an invite to like it. And I was like, oh yeah. Who knows? I think there's some pottery shit that I follow. I don't know anything about pottery. I get pottery shit pops up in my Facebook or what's what. I'm pretty sure somebody probably just sent me something and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Right now, I don't need to continue to get information about pottery yet. I'm not that old.
I don't have a lot of friends, but apparently my friends are watching some weird shit, because most of the videos that come up that are suggested for me are like weird street fight videos. And I hate those. I've never clicked on a video like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that kind of shit. I can't watch somebody getting knocked out in a street fight, or I don't like shit like that. I'm like, why is this here? I don't want this. Who did this to me? Like, I'm gonna get rid of you. I don't want this. My only thought is like, our phones are listening to us because we talk about MMA on the show. I talk about MMA all the time. And I like professional fighting, which I think is just, universe is different than some poor guy getting knocked out on the street. Like, I'm like, why am I getting this? I don't want this. Like, and I'll like, look like, did any of my friends comment or like this? Like, nope, it's just here. It's just here. Like, why do I have this?
It's there.
And I don't have a lot of friends either. Believe me, on Facebook, I don't have a lot of friends. So whatever. God, we sound old. Well, here's the thing. I just got back. Give me time.
Like, just let me.
My mission to have a lot of friends.
I probably don't either. I also don't. I don't know that either. I don't know, man. I'm just there. When it's not gonna be just like, oh man, I had to get off Facebook. It's socials. If I'm done, I'm going to stop posting. That will be all. And you guys can still call me.
Thank you. I'm not even on socials by my real name.
Then like, I will really have no friends.
No.
Then I'm like, I thought those people were my friends. Wait a minute, how come nobody calls or texts? Why doesn't that happen? It's probably why I'm still on there. I'm afraid I'm going to be lonely.
Well, I made the mistake of, my Facebook page. Like I said, I just just got back on, and I used my real name. And I only did that for that event that I created because I needed people to know that it was really me, and I really wanted you to accept this invitation. And then the other day, I get a comment or a friend request from somebody. I'm like, oh shit, this is why I don't use my real name, because I just like, oh yeah, Instagram, Twitter, all these places, I don't use my real name. Like, you can't find me. Well, people can. I've watched people do it. They like challenge me, like, oh no, I'll find you. I'm like, okay, good luck. 30 seconds later, here you are. This is you. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that?
You're on the
How much
internet.
time do you have on your hands? Like,
You're on the internet, bud. Sorry to tell you.
God.
And there's probably, you and I probably come up under each other's Google searches on occasion.
Would it be bad if I already knew that? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We might. We
I
might.
love it.
No, we might.
I don't know. You were just
I was
like,
looking at those stupid AI photos again.
I was
Sorry.
looking at those.
Oh, you ain't gonna.
All right, I closed it. I closed it. I closed it.
That's all you're gonna be looking at. You're gonna be.
I thought
looking
you
at
were
your friends like, man, Brad. Actually, I'll call out Brad. Brad. Believable that you could be an astronaut.
Way to
It
go,
looks good.
Todd.
Looks good
You're
on
the
you.
Easter Bunny.
Are you just picking the most white names you can?
He said Brad. I
Actually-
said Todd. Yeah.
I'm actually talking about Bradley
Oh.
Oliver.
I made Todd up. I don't know.
And Brad actually posted, and yes, he was in an astronaut suit. So
Now that you've met, all right, now that we've talked about it, you know who posted it? It was Hoss.
also, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Now that I've
Yeah.
seen what, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just thought that he did that. I didn't know that that was a thing.
Oh, it's a thing.
Okay. Because I saw it was like change profile picture, and it's like this cartoon.
See the profile
like-
picture. I told you.
It's like this handsome cartoon photo of him. I'm like, oh, look at good for him.
Hang on, I gotta download this Lensa app. See what kind of AI I can come up with. I don't think I have enough pictures of me. Does it need pictures of you?
I think
I
you can
would
just take one.
assume.
I think you can take one right now.
Oh, can you?
You
think
just
so.
take one and up.
Now look,
looked
you want me to
to
go
me-
back to this website I was just on?
No.
You're really gonna make me do this and give you directions here?
It
What's
just
going on?
looked to me as if these photos
Yeah.
were already photos. And I don't have that many photos of myself.
Download the Lensa app. Set up your Lensa profile. Select your photos
He's
for an
back on.
AI transformation. So no, I mean,
Select your photos.
you can upload.
So
Yeah, it
it's
looks
not
like you can,
actually AI. That's the thing. Everybody's into this like, oh, AI can create now. And it is wild. That is but that's not AI. That's just like a sketch app, right?
look, man, I got a Roomba. That's about as far robot as I go, dude.
I have a Roomba. Do you like it?
We're on our third one. So
Oh.
yeah, we like it.
Like
Dude, when you have dogs, any little help you can
Cat-
get with
cat hair.
hair, dog hair,
cat hair, don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
any help you can get.
But if
So
you're on
yeah.
your third one, does that mean they keep crapping out on you?
we have dogs. I don't think you understand the amount of shedding I'm talking about. Well, the
Okay.
first one had to go through the dog we no longer have, which was a German Shepherd lab mix. So just nothing but hair. Now we have a lab, nothing but hair, just nonstop hair for days. So yeah. But hey, it helps. Like I said, when you can just turn it on and walk away and then work on a different room and eventually let it get back and get what inevitably will be a tumbleweed of dog hair that you're gonna miss every time. You just let it do its thing. So
Yeah, we got dark floors and cat hair, so it's a constant. It's just kind of like having an extra person going around with a slight broom. It ain't perfect, but it's gonna get some stuff up.
it's gonna get something.
It gets
It's
it.
gonna get something.
Get some stuff. Does all right.
The crumbs that the kid drops, all that good stuff. If the dogs don't get it,
But that's AI. That's a robot. This filter app, that's a filter. That's not AI. If I didn't have to, I shouldn't say that. All right, we have a project now. We have homework. We have to download this Lensa app, and all three of us are gonna send each other astronaut photos in our text group. But if you don't have to, if I can give you one image and it makes the rest of those images based off me, isn't that AI? You know what I mean? I don't have that many pictures. I looked at, here's what really threw me. I was like, man, it's a lot of, and I guess people do take a lot of selfies. I don't take selfies. I don't. The last profile pic was a staged photo pic, not a selfie, right? But it looked to me like,
but you could use that.
You gotta have like 20 or 30 selfies to upload to this thing, and it just throws you into an astronaut suit or puts flowers around my face or something, right?
I'm bored. It's boring to me. I don't know.
So my point is, I don't have that many pictures of myself, and I wouldn't call that AI.
Well, based on what you're saying,
art is like you type in a command and it makes the image.
Oh wait, now that you're saying that,
am I right?
Well, based on what you're saying, I agree with you. But check this out. I went back to the site I was on, the Lensa app controversy.
Which means generates images from text descriptions. According to Lensa, works by utilizing a stable diffusion model, which means it generates images from text descriptions of images. Open source material from the internet, which is legal. Professional artists say that work gray area borders stealing. But okay, well, there you go. That's me. Am I reading that right then?
Yeah, I mean,
that I don't
know
how the app works. I thought you had, God, that's bright on my face. I thought they had to, I assumed that you would have to have like, 20 different pictures of yourself readily available. I guess not.
I guess the biggest thing people were worried about was, is this, are they stealing your images? Based on what you're saying, like you have to use several to get it to work, but.
Well, they wouldn't be stealing it if you're uploading it, right?
Yeah, you're giving it to them.
A legal loophole to squeeze out artists from the process. Yeah, I don't know. I guess artists were worried about it. Dude, it makes no sense to me. I'm going to stop sharing because I sound dumber as we keep talking about it.
Well, shows what we know. Maybe next time we should do this as a project together. That's our homework. We're going to start a group message that we have to pick our best Lensa avatar.
I say we start a Lensa avatar band.
And there it is. That's how.
And I don't think music needs to be involved at all. There just needs to be the illusion.
You can AI songs now. You can put in. You don't know this? This is real. This is real. You can put in commands to create a Foo Fighters rock band with electronic synth about this. It'll create the song that exists right now. Yep.
What app is this?
It'll write a song. I don't know, man. I don't know. See, I just call that the AI world that I don't know nothing about. I just hear about these things and I read about them. That's real though. That's it. I heard a sound clip of a song that was created. I forget the bands that they used.
Sound raw.
Sound said like put in your influences and what the song's about. I think you could do like 90s grunge and whatever else. It'll write you the fucking song. I'm not kidding.
You guys want to do it live right now?
Yeah.
Royalty-free AI music.
Like it's going to create it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Choose the length.
Mm.
Well, I don't like anything over 3 minutes.
Look at this. Angry is the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Metal bands can't get no love, but the first thing you see here. Select your mood. Angry. He does look angry, doesn't he?
He does.
Let's go angry. Let's do
I think
it.
we should do funny and weird.
All right. Let me go back. Where was that at? Where was that at?
Right there.
Okay.
You're on it. The horse. Funny and weird.
This better not cost me shit.
It's going to be like
Fuckers.
Weird Al.
Look at this.
I hope
Mood,
so.
genre, theme, length, tempo, instruments. Look at you.
Well, let's see.
But it's not created. These are already created.
Right.
Oh,
These are already created.
Create music, top right. Select the mood.
Let's go elegant.
Yeah, I like elegant. She looks very elegant.
Something like that. If I play this, you guys won't be able to hear it. Damn it.
Oh,
Colt,
that's
you're
right.
going to have to go to Sound Raw. Anyway, well, now we know we got more homework.
All right, we got more homework. So we're going to need all of our astronaut avatars to sing the song that was, we're going to make the band.
The most
We'll
elegant.
create all of our music through that website. See if we can go viral. Yeah, I forget where I heard it. Apologies. That's also me. It's probably why.
I like how all of Joel's stories, he like tells us halfway about something, and then at the end he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's a thing. I was right. I know it's a thing. I won't be able to tell you where I heard it or whatever. I don't know.
All right. So now that
there's too much nonsense for me to retain. I can't retain it all.
I get it.
So I've gone back into this, and you actually are creating the music. Yeah. I don't understand what I'm doing, but you can, yeah.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah, it's gonna look real weird another 10 years.
Why do I own guitars?
What's an Inimical Drive going to look like in 10 years?
What a transition.
Hairy, a little bit older. I'll probably look the same. These other guys
That's
gonna look.
that's just Nick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Nick's gonna be hairier, older, gray. There's a lot of grays coming in there, chest hair and all.
Who's the oldest in the band? You don't have to say ages, but who's the oldest?
It used to be me. It's Rich.
Rich, right? Okay.
Yeah, Rich is 17 years older than all of us.
And a
All
new
you guys
dad.
were like, what?
Poor Rich. God.
No,
And
Rich
a new
is,
dad, dude. New dad.
yeah, Rich is a couple years, year and a half, 2 years older than me, I think. Year and a half, I think is what it is. Yup. And then baby boy coming in, bringing the youth, keeping us young and lively. You know.
Remember when he was just a tyke?
He's still just a tyke.
Well,
yeah.
Giving him too much credit, but yeah.
Started playing music. You and I probably both started playing music with him when he was like
Soul
17.
Descenders?
Yeah, 17 years
They
old.
were all 16, 17, right?
Yep. Could get into pops, couldn't get into like bars to play.
Despite that, talk about your show coming up, because
Hey,
you know.
I need to ask because I don't remember. Have we talked to you on the show since you guys did Incarceration? Have you been
No.
on the show since?
No,
Uh-uh.
no.
I think so. I think
There's
we
so
talked to
much.
you right before you went to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Nick came on the show a little bit before. Several months before, though, dude.
Was it that far?
Was
before?
it announced? Were we talking about it then?
No. God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we did that this summer.
Shit. All right, cool. Glad we talked about that.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, that's what's funny. You were like, hey, what do you want to talk about? I was like, we actually have a lot to talk about, I think. It was, and I forgot that's been how long since it's been. But yeah, that was the last. We started to promote this record. And man, did we spread it out. It was, I had anticipated we would release this record this past summer. And that didn't happen. We continue to release material, and we're still releasing material. And that was the plan. I just thought it would go a lot faster, but we had some things come up, and all good things that have pushed us back to this point. But yeah, a lot has happened since we did the private listening party. That was how long ago? For everybody to come out and actually hear the songs.
It was very cold still, so
At like
was that February?
It wasn't. It was like coming out of the winter,
something like that,
spring or something. Yeah. And so we had that too. So we would have been talking to you guys around that time and promoting probably the first or second single, "Dead on Me" and the "Back to Life." And yeah, so then we had that opportunity come up, and for the festival circuit, we're submitting to all the festivals now and looking at what this next year looks like for us. But that's way late for us to find out that we got an addition to a festival that's sold out. I mean, that thing was sold out, 30,000 people, 3 nights. You're like, what?
Yeah.
So we technically had a headlining slot on closing out one of the stages. Amazing. It's like, what? We're like just stepping out and deciding to actually really promote ourselves with this record and put the foot on the gas, to say, on this record, which is why we did the listening party and tried to do all this extra stuff. Wanted to make sure we had multiple videos and singles to release. And to grab something like that at the very end of the summer festival circuit and to have the opportunity to go out and play, we were like mind blown. So it was killer. It was killer, stressful. Of course, the day that we played, 2 beautiful days. We played the first night. We played the campground stage, was this new stage that they put up. This is the first year they'd done it, and broke down on the way there and arrived 10 minutes before we're supposed to be going on, and then literally got like stopped at the gates, and they were like searching the vehicle and the RV and this whole thing. And we're like, we have been traveling like 4.5 hours longer than we're supposed to be. Please, we're literally supposed to be going on stage. And got in there, started, it was like 20 minutes late that we went on or whatever. But so we started off, that ended up being amazing. And then we had a day off, got to go and watch some of the festival and go and support some, there was quite a few other bands that are on our management team. So got to go and see them and support them. 2 beautiful days. And then Sunday, the heavens opened. Torrential downpour, lightning and thunder. And everybody knows, as soon as you hear lightning, festival's getting shut down. And if it happens again, they're going to evacuate the place. And if that happens for too long, they end up canceling. It was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I mean, dumping rain, not kind of raining, dumping rain, breaking people's tents at the campground. And it was trying, to say the least. But we got word earlier, pretty early in the mid part of the day, that said they're cutting bands, but it sounds like it's going to open back up and everybody's going to come in and it's going to be fine. So we played in a downpour of rain. Everything was soaked. Stage was soaked, literally puddles, pedal boards just getting blasted. But it was awesome. It was great. Great crowd, amazing connection with people. And it was the only really summer show that we got to play. And we're still in contact with many of those people, so yeah, it was awesome. And not to mention the build wasn't bad either, Corn and Papa Roach.
Great bill.
Spirit Box.
Yeah.
And
So-
I go on and on and on and on and on. Like, this year was loaded with amazing bands, and it was awesome. It was killer, man. And what an amazing setting. I can tell you this now. If you are the kind of guy that'll go to a festival and brave being in that crowd side of it, that's a cool one. I mean, literally, it is like everybody in one block like this, 30,000 people, 2 stages, back and forth. That's it. And then the third stage, our stage. But that also packed down the whole line. And then it's at the site of the reformatory. So you actually get to go into the old abandoned jail. And that's where they shot fucking, why am I drawing blank on this? It's because I'm the worst on trivia and movies. Legendary prison movie.
Shawshank?
Redemption. Yeah, Shawshank. So pretty amazing. And you get to do like tours through the reformatory, and it was awesome. Very cool. We didn't get to do that because it poured rain on our day and we ran out of time, and we were loading and standing in a tent in torrential downpour, and but it's okay. Still got
So does getting added to one of those bills like that like give you a better opportunity to be put on another bill for another festival? It does, kind of like building your resume.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So just to have the opportunity, and the Danny Wimmer festivals are, I mean, it's the biggest of the big right now, Bourbon and Beyond, and yeah, he's got like 5 or 6 different appealing festivals that yeah, so many successful years among the roster, and they keep adding. So he's one of the biggest festival promoters out right now. So just incredible. And that was right up our alley. And like I said, a lineup that I couldn't have ever imagined. And now I have a giant poster right in there. Yeah, it's yeah, so incredible. But yes, we are in the middle of looking at this summer now, you know. But like I said, to my point, this is when those conversations start. So for us to have the opportunity to do that so late and find that out like at the end of the summer, it was like, oh, okay, I'm middle of the summer, I guess. But you know, to be thrown on last minute was a blessing, humbling for sure.
Right.
You mentioned management team. I'd love to know more about this, and I don't know if you guys posted about this or talked about this very much publicly, but I would love to know more. I mean, I think it you know, on one of our previous episodes, fairly recently, I talked about how when bands can get some sort of push from someone who has influence somewhere, it means the world, you know.
Yeah.
Now there are a lot of bands who know how to DIY it. You know, I know you know that. You've been there before. I've been there before. But when you have someone who can create waves somewhere, it helps. So like for me, just from the outside looking in, you know, being a friend of yours, watching what you guys are doing, it feels like said management team has helped. So I would love to know more about it.
Yeah,
if you have talked about it, I apologize. I just don't.
No.
I don't know that you have. So
that
like,
all, yeah,
how did you get? How did you get linked up with them? Like,
I submitted to a bunch of shit and was looking for. So don't get me wrong, I am very much the DIY, and when I say I am, I mean I am. Like,
I know.
You know, it has been, you know, for years booking our own shows and making my own network, making my own connections. You know,
Booking your own tours.
It is 1,000% network, man. It's
Yeah.
reaching out to people. You know, I'm not doing anything that I haven't done for all the years that we've done this, which is just like, if we want to do something, you reach out and you talk to people that you respect, or you reach out to people that, you know, might be able to help you out. You said something about, you know, somebody on the socials or something that you had some questions about. That's it, man. When I got into a conversation with Chris, our first Zoom call felt very much like this. And I said, oh, this is going to be awesome, because he's a dude that has been in music and has done his thing with his own band, has done things for other bands, has an active roster, and he has just continued to find ways to keep things happening because he's a music lover and a musician and a network guy. And building upon, you know, if you were to ask me, do you have a video guy for this or that or whatever? Yeah, I could send you to this guy. And if that doesn't work out, yeah, I got another guy. Why? Because I've just done it for this long. You just keep it good with your people. You build your network. Eventually, you know people to get things done for other people. That's that, right? So Chris I sought a couple different conversations, had 5 or 6 different conversations, and 2 were interested. And Chris was the one that actually likes what we're doing. Is how I felt. It was like, okay, well, there you go. He's a fan of the music, genuinely likes it, has a lot of good input, and has.
And this is the guy, the company you're working with.
Yeah, CB Entertainment.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, so we signed with Chris, and he is the guy to do all the things that I can't do, and it's as simple as that. He's got more of a network. I mean, he's got his own stage at that festival, so he's got connections to the networks that I would need to be having those conversations, So, and he's just a good dude. He's a good guy. He's got great bands on his roster, really good bands, and that are all active, achieving what they want, and being able to do music at the level that they want. So I said, I'm not putting all of this into this to think that I know how to do everything on my own, and that I have the network to do everything that we're trying to do. And it's been a great fit, and everything that's happening right now, very much, it's regular calls. I do the majority of it. I execute the majority of it, but it's having these calls and having somebody else to bounce off of that knows the back end of things that I don't, or to have the connections and the network. So it's been great. Chris is a good dude, and I know what I was looking for. I knew we wanted to be active, and there's a lot of people that came out of not necessarily just COVID, but even out of COVID. Chris has been at this a long time, but that just decided independently they could take what they knew from working at a record label or a management company or whatever and support, say, Rocky, right? You come to me and you're like, hey man, I'm not looking to do a ton or whatever, but I want to do this, this, and this. Well, under whatever umbrella they were under before, they probably couldn't do that, but independently they'd be able to contract themselves to help you achieve what you're looking to do, right? And so I had a lot of those conversations. Chris is a different story. He's a legitimate management company, has all of our merch and everything is going through him now, and it's a huge benefit. It's excellent, and it is setting us up. But I had a lot of those conversations, and that it just makes sense, right? Like, people that know how the things work that you're trying to do, talk to those people. I knew we wanted to be active, so I started looking who's got active rosters, and okay, this management company, what are they doing and what do they have and whatever. And Chris was one of the most impressive for where I knew we needed to be without overshooting my boundaries. Of course, everybody wants to go, I want to be there, but realistically, what would be amazing for us right now, and where would I like to see us over the next year, 18 months? And I told the guys this too. In all the conversations I had reached out to Chris and he hadn't gotten back to me yet. And I was like, this is the one that I want to have. I want to see, because I feel like it's a perfect fit, like understanding his roster and understanding where this record lands for us. And he's the one that hit back and was like, I love it. He's like, hey, yeah, that works. God, you love it when it works out. So no, but he's been great. So there you go, Chris. If you listen to this, talking you up.
No, and that's cool, man. Like I said, I say this only because, like, through my own experiences, and we'll talking to Colt, because Colt, one of the things that I love about the conversations I have with him is he's a huge music fan, but he doesn't understand and just hasn't been exposed to the behind the scenes like you and I have. So, like, I tried very many times to, like, kind of explain, like, yeah, there's a DIY aspect, but when you have someone who can open up new avenues to you that you did not have before, those are the things that you need. And immediately with you guys, I commented to him, and probably on the show, I was like, yeah, something is clicking in a way that makes sense for them right now. And I think, and it was really cool to see when it started, and as it's evolving now, it's like, this is what, and I kind of said to him, I was like, this is what I've been talking about. Like, this is what you look for as an artist, as a band, as whatever. Like, you need someone. Now, does everyone need someone to do this? No, but there are several people that do. And it's just the way the business works. There's no way to really explain it other than, like, right place, right time, right person, right moment, right opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for you guys. But
with this, it's not magic. There's a couple ways, and it goes across. It's not just music. I think people get confused musically because it's art, right?
Right.
But it's still very much, unless
it's execution. Unless
you are the one that throws something out there and viral takes off or whatever. But that's not just music. That can happen with anything. You can have a product and all of a sudden it clicks with people and it just goes. How many stories do you know of very successful bands? And they're good. It's not, they're super talented, but they have that story of it just launched and it just took off. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, all these things now are readily available. That moment didn't happen for us. Everything that we have done, we've made happen. And you know, continue to. So it's not a thing of like, well, I don't really get letdowns, right? Because for us, it's just always, how do we do that? And it's always the next thing. How do we do that? How do we do that? And I got no problem with that. We're very hands-on. Literally, we're building a tour bus right now with our bare hands. I don't know how to do that. We just did it. So with everything, it was like, well, if we want to do this, how do we get there? It really, there's no magic, there's no mystery. It is having somebody that knows how to do the things that we were trying to do. Over COVID, we released our EP Enemy. Great resolve to a very long project. I did that all myself and I was very proud of it. It did not come close to doing what I needed it to do for what we wanted to do next. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know.
Why do you say that? Explain that. In what way?
Navigating the digital world, navigating how to properly promote yourself, how to market yourself, how to get everything in line for a proper release, and how to, there's just so many, there's a reason why people say you don't make any money at a record label, because they're paying 1 million people to do 1 million things to make this machine work, right? I don't have that machine. That's probably how I should have just said it from the get-go.
So do you feel, sorry to cut you off, but do you feel you guys were ill prepared, or do you feel like,
oh, for sure,
once it was finally over,
story of our lives?
Yeah, you really think that's what it was?
Record and then figure out how to record it. Ill prepared, and you just don't know, right? If you don't spend the time learning how all of it works, and no matter what it is, come in, and now it's it's ever changing, right? So the socials and all that too, that's a whole thing too. I could use a social person. It's, you know, to answer all those questions that you're talking about, is that does this? Well, they could take the time to sit and try to narrow a path of what works better than, you know. So that's what it is. I needed somebody that had better resources, for one.
Sure.
Because until you make a lot of these steps happen, everything's unaffordable, you know, to do what you actually want to do, you know, unless you're completely DIY and you're super creative and you've got it like that. We don't. We, you know, the one-stop shop that they're just excellent with all of these different things. I'm trying to learn as much as I can to keep it in-house, to keep it reasonable to where we can do it. But that's very much it. You need people with resources, and you need a good network of people that know how to do the things that you're doing. There's a lot that goes into releasing a record, and we're nowhere near what a real record, you know, a big record that you hear about. There's so much that goes into that. So yeah, looking for somebody that has a network and has connections, and you know, has the know-how to get us in line on the business side too. You know, I don't really know all that. It's just in a fucking band, you know. So
right. Who does?
And now all of a sudden I have 3 businesses. So, you know, just that. Smart financial moves too. He's got it down. He knows what he's doing. You know, he's operating many really good bands that are active and, you know, generating revenue, and that was it. Active bands. Who, if your roster is active, that's what I want to do. We want to be doing more than what we're doing. Doing that on my own would take a great amount of resources and time that I don't have, you know. So we're very fortunate to have gotten linked up with Chris, and that he loves the music, you know. So, and then we fit the roster too. So it, you know, it was kind of you know, it's
I've looked at the roster. You guys do fit very well.
Yeah, it's
from what I've seen, it's a very good home.
Every artist on the roster has like their own spot, you know. So so it seemed like a good fit, and we are glad that he thought so too. So yeah, so we're finally putting this record out. Was probably it's probably where we started, somewhere about that.
I forgot we asked that.
Yeah, somewhere there. January 13th. People are like, what is happening?
No, that all made sense, dude. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I thought it was important to talk about that because you've been on the show a couple of times and, you know, you brought up Enemy and, you know, we talked about that record on the show, and all things considered, Colt and I both talked about how much we liked it, and the perception of it was that it was doing well and that you guys were happy with it. And, you know, based on what you just said, it's like, no, we want more. We want more out of what we're doing, which is, for me, as someone who releases music, it's refreshing to hear from someone else. Like you never want to settle by any means, but you also, when you have something that you feel is good and people tell you it's good, you do settle. So in a way, it's refreshing to hear that you didn't, right? Yeah. And you kept pushing and you kept like going forward and moving forward and finding, like I said, the new avenues. And so here we are with, you said, like, you know, like you said, the new release, which we can finally get to that. But I wanted to make sense of, that by talking about the, you know, the management company and all these things that you've been doing are very fucking cool, man. Like I said, like you don't see that out of a lot of bands every day. You know, it's not a normal thing. And I want to make that very clear. Like, and I'm not trying to butter your bread by any means, but like,
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Now
it's
that
rewarding if you want it to be, if the, like I said, the execution is there. And I know from what I know of you, you do work hard at it. And you do care.
Patrick, I think this conversation came from when the Dead on Me music video came out.
It's probably,
because of how many views you got in a very short amount of time.
That song has 130 something thousand streams right now.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it. And
it's a great song. It should.
It is.
Well, it's a fucking great song.
We made sure that we were putting as much into the pre-roll for this entire record as we possibly could. I held on to this. You guys came to that listening party well before we released anything. And we had already shot 2 of the music videos and had the 3rd one scheduled before anybody had heard anything. And then we threw that listening party knowing that we were sitting on 5 songs, and we just knew that everybody kept asking. It was like, what are you guys doing? And you guys talked about this, and then I was hanging on to it. I said, I'm not doing it this time on my own. I'm not doing it on my own this time because I know there's more that goes into it and I need help. You know, it takes more than just, I don't have the time to sit down and try to figure out and learn, like I was saying. So, so we held on to everything to make sure. We ran into in the past, sorry, I'm going back a little bit, but we ran into the past before, like letting something fly and not putting the proper promotion into it. It did okay. So you learn from that. All right, well, we got to do this, this, and this before we even talk about that yet. So really, this time around, it was about maximizing and getting as much out of everything that we do that we possibly could. As many videos, as many get-togethers, as many, without even, you know, we weren't ready for touring. And so how do we maximize this thing before we let it fly? And I've talked about this probably 1,000 times, but you push this rock up to the top of the hill just to let it go over the ledge and it sinks to the bottom of the lake. Well, there that was. Now what? Now what? If we weren't completely ready to go and jump on a tour or had a tour offer or whatever else, what are we going to do? So you sit on it. You know, records get shelved for a reason. If it's not the right time or it's not the right financials. So we held on to it, and then we said, well, how much more can we do from this? So we did a kickoff show and kind of introed some stuff by then. We'd released a couple singles, and you know, even now we got busy. Well, we'll talk about the bus, but with several other things that it was like, man, when is going to be the right time to release this record? So it was really just about maximizing and stretching everything out that we could, because we knew we wanted more. if I put this record out and I just let it fly and we don't have our ducks in a row, then it's dead in the water. Now I'll continue to do, we're already writing a new record. Fantastic. But it's about making sure that we had more ducks in a row, and we have achieved more ducks with this record. That was Dead on Me was the example. We couldn't believe it. That was like milestone. That it is milestones for this band. None of the other tracks have done as well as that yet. But we put a ton of work into the pre-roll to say, we got everybody's attention, right? You're listening, right? We're getting ready to give you this song. You're gonna listen and you're gonna watch it, right? You're gonna do this. And it worked, and it consistently, like, we're not a band of mystery. Like I said, it's not magic. Some people want to act like it's magic, and you go, how did they do that? And they're only doing this. There's a lot of like closed curtain discussions going on here. Not us. No. I'll tell you everything that I've done. Everybody that asks and says, oh man, this has really worked for you guys and this and that. So what do you think about Stop Everybody Now? It's really, what do you want out of it? What do you want to do? I know what I want to do. I told the guys, we're going to do this record and I'm going to drive across the country and we're going to go see as many cities as we can and play songs and see what happens. So it takes a lot of work to get there. Some people would go, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. And the second you got to put the work in to do it, that's the end of the conversation. What do you really want from it? What do you want to do? I'm literally willing to tear apart a bus and rebuild it because I know that financially, I am not in a position to go onto a tour bus or a bandwagon or whatever. So how do I make it work? Well, I guess we do this, and that's it. So it is very DIY. But, we've been fortunate to expand our network now and have someone else on the team that believes in it and that can help do the other stuff, so help connect those dots. But every other part of that, we have to get our ducks in a row. We have to do it. I had to tour. So maybe TMI, but we had to turn down 2 really good tour opportunities, really good. And one was unbelievable. That I literally gave myself an anxiety attack over the whole situation because it was going to be way too much financially for us. We were not ready on that front. And we didn't have our transportation in line. And if you don't have transportation in line, if you do know anything on the business side of this, a tour bus is $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,500 a day, upwards of $2,000 I'm hearing in some cases. Bandwagon is $500 to $700 a day. Do some math there. One tour, $15,000, $20,000. So tack that on to everything else that you have to do to be in financial position to be a band and go and take your record on a tour. And then when you're talking about a big opportunity, those big opportunities don't come cheap. So I could shoot my business in the foot right out the gate and throw it all down the toilet and go, well, that was fun for a month. Well, I don't want to do that for a month. We're trying to set ourselves to be in a position to go. We haven't done national touring on an extensive level like that ever. And that's what I want to do. I want to go see the country. I like to travel. I'd prefer to do it with my friends and play some music along the way. So there's a lot in that. But ultimately, what do you want to do? Somebody came to me at a show and said, we were told we got to get PR. Well, that's a loaded question. You don't need PR for anything, depending on what you want to do. No, you don't. You can do it yourself. If it looks like this to you, then yeah, say for sure. But if not, if you just want to, play the venue down the street, nope. You can DIY that yourself and have a successful show and get back at it the next time you want to do it. Very simple. What else do you need? What are you trying to achieve from that? So it's that. We made a decision on what we wanted. And then it's been a ton of work since then to get us there. So, but there's nothing that'll motivate you more than knowing that there was a really, really amazing tour opportunity on your doorstep and you had to pass on it because you weren't ready. So, thus the motivation to keep plugging and go, well, that's what we wanted. We just didn't have it at that moment in time. So, drag it out a little bit further, push the record back a little bit more, and line yourself up to do it. Because we also had the conversation about record labels, and I'm not going to bash a record label. Maybe there's a great record deal out there for us, but I have the best record deal in the world. It's me. My record label loves me. So I know more horror stories than I know good stories. Not that I would sway from that conversation. If it was a great look, then perfect.
So
No
what
great
was
look.
what was that conversation like?
Well, no great look has come our way. So it's as simple as that. It has not, I'm very honest about
But
that.
have you been looking for it?
Not necessarily, because I
Okay.
am doing more for us on this record cycle than any label would have put in.
So here's an important question from someone who's been in this conversation before. So I have to know what it was like for you guys. You said you're your own record label, which is great. And I agree. That is the best position you can be in. So
Well,
who and how, who brought it up and how was it brought up? And then what was the reaction like as a collective? So like you seem to be like in a position to be like, well, I'm going to shut that down for now if nothing good comes of it. But like, so how did it come about? Like I said, like, what was the conversation like? So, I mean, like, did you get a few offers? Did you get a few, like, bites? Like, what was the situation like?
at best, I had conversations. And that was
Okay.
it. Yep. I've had so many conversations.
And you're the only
And,
one being a part of those?
Not entirely, but typically, everybody else does what needs to be done and shows up.
So
when
just
need,
just
but
not good situation, not anything really coming of it, or what?
nope. I've heard more horror stories from people that,
Yeah.
it has to make sense. And it's not that that's a bad deal. There are bad deals, but there's probably more good deals out there these days than bad deals, because that's been exposed, right?
Right.
For the record, I don't have any deals on the table. However, I know what you get from those deals, and we have everything we need. My record label just bought me a tour bus. So so if that doesn't happen, if you don't get that, it's the same thing as the song that takes off or whatever else, right? Then all those things just kind of come, right? If the right deal is there, it's great. But for a record label to make money, they have to make money. Somebody has to give up a portion of something. They have to invest money. They have to have all these people working. Can that be blown out of proportion, and can that be taken advantage of? And absolutely, any business can, right? But if I have the network and the people to put us in the places that we need to be right now, then that doesn't really even need to be a conversation. I don't know what it would do outside of a bigger network. So yeah, the right one comes along that would be amazing to say, yeah, okay, yeah, this is the right move. I wouldn't shy away from a conversation, but those don't make sense when you're not in a massive earning position. They're out there. Those deals are out there for sure. How many bands do you see get signed to these big labels and they got 1,500 Instagram followers and they're not doing anything? They're not doing anything. What does that do? A good majority of our friends are on labels, and we're doing more than a lot of people and in the same position as a lot of people. So, we have some resources and we have a network, and, and that conversation hasn't come to us. So, like I said, I didn't turn anything down. It's not like it was like, oh man, we got to choose here. No, we're going to walk. No. None of that. But it is that I'm not seeking it at the moment, because I know where that goes. It could be a bigger network and whatever, but it would have to be pretty good, because
Sure.
eventually when you get into an earning position out there on the road, that has to be they have to make their money off of that somehow, you know? So I don't know if that made any sense, but
No, it does.
yeah. So anyhow, I don't know where we're back to the show.
Promote this show, man.
We're doing a record. It's the record release, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, we're finally releasing this record, and knowing that we drug it out and that I have the free say to do this my way, we can just push back the release to when it's a good time to release, right? So we had those opportunities come up. We had to immediately stop what we were doing and figure out transportation, because another opportunity like that comes my way, I don't want to turn it down. I want to go. And so we flew to Virginia to buy a tour bus to come back to start rehabbing that. And in my mind, that was not only the best move financially for long term, but, you know, it's like, oh, it's going to be easy, right? We'll just buy this. Let me tell you. So, you know, but we're almost there. It's almost there. Just, you know, didn't help with the timing of getting everything else done that I needed to get done and release a record and play a show and do all that. But knowing that we had this time lapse, and that clearly if we were on a record label and they would have had us on the 90-day cycle to kick out these 5 songs and whatnot, that's one thing, but we weren't, and we pushed it off. So we added some tracks. So we've done a stripped version of the last single, Nothing New. We also did a reimagined version of Enemy, the title track off the last EP. And those are incredible. And can't wait. I personally feel like I'm sitting on some of the coolest shit we've ever done. And can't wait to get that out to people. But we wanted to add that to the EP because it's been, you know, so many people are so dedicated to us. I love it. I talk about it every time, that I know where our core fans came from. I know when what time period they entered at, and how many times we've all hung out together and had these great experiences. And the only reason we get to do that is because of those people. And those are the people that are going to give a shit that we did a little bit extra to put onto the EP. The people that showed up to the listening party, the people that do give a shit about the inside story and what really is happening with us on the behind the scenes, right? So Enemy was clearly a big deal to us. How that song came out, how the EP came out. It was the first time like trying to put some effort back into the band after a couple of years. And that song meant so much to us as a band to finally get that out. We did a reimagined version of that, and we're tacking it onto this record. And then the stripped version, shout out to Gerald at Dungeon Studios, just absolutely knocked these out of the park. But the stripped version of Nothing New is incredible, and I can't wait for people to hear it. So I haven't talked about that anywhere else. So this will be out in a couple days, I guess. And yeah, people get to, we're going to be doing a VIP thing. Haven't announced that yet either, but we'll be doing a VIP thing. People get to hear us perform those songs before the show and finally get this record out. So two songs that we haven't released yet, but the single From Solitude and the title track is going to drop with a video on the day of the show, Friday the 13th, January 13th. We will drop that. And then there would be 3 then additional songs on the record that people have yet to hear. So wanted to make sure that we're doing something in our time that we do have together while waiting to get the record out. And we're just stoked to say that it's finally here. It was a long time in the making. It's been a very, very, very exciting record cycle for us. Like I said, milestones for a band that's been plugging away for some years here in St. Louis. And now to be setting ourselves up for 2023. So it's no secret that we bought a tour bus and have renovated this thing. We're putting episodes out. It's not all the way finished, but we're close. I'm dropping episodes via the TikToks to show the renovation on that. But we have every intention to use it. And we are now in discussions with what that's going to look like into the spring. So we hope to make everybody proud and take this record out on the road and see what everybody else thinks about it. Incarceration was a taste of that, to say, hey, yeah, this works. People were genuine. We met some of the best people and genuinely bought into it, and just super engaged and still in contact with, like I said. So it's exciting. So January 13th, we put together a bill. The Richters, the young guns around this area, they've been playing actively. Like, I've been watching them for like the last two and a half, I think, around 2 years or so. And yeah, super nice guys, great guys, great band. Just played Point Fest this last year. I think they went through a whole rigmarole there, and were the nicest guys that day, and put on a great show. Band Naysayers, formerly For the City. I had to put the formerly For the City because they agreed to do this show and said we haven't changed our name yet. I said, all right, well, that's okay. Do we have to wait? I said, well, I'm announcing the show. And they're like, well, I guess we're announcing a name. So yeah, Naysayers, everybody knows them as For the City. But and then Old Friends Facing Infamy. Those guys are knocking the dust off and coming back out to open the show for us. So it's going to be a rager. It's a Diamond Music Hall. Our homegirl McKenna from 100.7 The Viper is hosting, and we'll be going in studio with her sometime close to the end of this month, I think. And everybody, we're doing it the old-fashioned way. Pat, I think you'll appreciate this. Everybody gets a CD upon entry. So we're yeah. So throwing a little old school throwback.
Those will make good drink coasters for most people.
Christmas
Many people have my coasters.
Christmas ornaments. You tie ribbon through the center, and you put it on the tree.
You silly guys, you.
I'm not saying this one yet. I'm gonna save this one for an announcement, but I'm taking it a step further. So we've got some cool pre-bundle packages that we'll be announcing here real soon. New merch,
tinsel to go with your new ornament.
Tinsel to go with your new ornament. That's right.
That's funny.
But yeah, man, it's been, it's been awesome. We're so blessed. I'm so grateful. It's been so many experiences just in making this batch of songs, and to know that we've got this kind of support, and we're kind of setting ourselves up for the beginning of the year right now. It's an exciting time. A lot of fun conversations, and I love it. Get to keep throwing new things out there. We've got a couple other things too that we're going to do with the unreleased songs. So lots of content still to come. Spencer Pekka Film just wrapped up the video for From Solitude, and it's great. I think everybody's going to love it. I think everybody's going to love that song. It's kind of a power metal type throwback song to, I think it's probably the most Inimical Drive song on the record. And yeah, I'm just stoked for everybody to see it, to hear it. Get on the socials, buy those pre-tickets. We're hoping to sell this thing out. We came pretty close the last time that we played Diamond Music Hall. So we're hoping for big things. All those bands are pushing really hard, and we're gonna be doing a lot of promotion and stuff for that over the next couple of weeks. So January 13th, if you're local here, come out, support us. You're really enabling us to do this and to set ourselves up for a year to hopefully make all y'all proud. So hope to see everybody out. I think that's all I got to say about the show.
Do you have to go pee?
No, I'm just bouncing.
You're bouncing.
I'm out of wine.
Hey,
You're just excited. That's fine.
Before we get out of here,
I was reading off my script. It made me nervous.
That's fine.
We went from freestyling to be like, I better not leave anything out. And then I did. Local 636.
Yeah, you shout the sponsors. You said you wanted to do that.
Yes, Local 636. My homeboy Ed. He's doing an awesome thing out my way. This is out my hood. If you're from the burbs of St. Louis, welcome to St. Chuck, across the river. Local 636. He's an awesome guy, and a true music fan and music lover, and doing a whole apparel company thing and networking as well. It's 100% network with me, man. When I met Ed, I knew it right away. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense for us. We're all 636, baby. This makes sense. And then we got to talking and doing his podcast with him tomorrow, actually. But anyway, so Ed from Local 636 and Mascots Pub and Grill. I'm always talking about them if you follow my personal page. But Rob and Jen are the best. And yes, they wanted to help us out and promote and help send us on our way. So they're sponsoring this show and helping to get the word out. And we appreciate the shit out of them. And just more great people in our network, man. It's really what it's about. It's the only reason I get to do anything cool. You know, really is. It's how we all know each other, you know?